Welcome back. This is Daybreak on Trust Television, and of course, this is the newspaper review segment of the program. But I'll go straight to the Daily Trust this morning. Lead story on the Daily Trust says Nigeria wasting rice, yam, fish amid food crisis. This is according to a report, of course. Other stories atop the page says local government polls. Opposition kicks as state electoral bodies impose new fees. Also, 70% windfall tax burdensome, ill-timed, according to bank directors. NNPCL, FIRS, others frustrating National Assembly, Tinubu's government. This is according to the Senate panel. Also, 28 killed in Oyo Ogun Road crashes. Each senator earns 1.063 million naira monthly. That's according to the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission, RAMFAC. And also, Tinubu approves 300% pay rise for judicial officers. Wait till 2027 if you're not satisfied with government. That is according to the Council of State. We now go to the Guardian newspaper this morning. The Guardian lead story there says National Health Insurance Act, 2 years after, states under-enroll as 90% Nigerians still pay out of pocket. And of course, there's an infographic there that says cost of healthcare up by over 200% in the last 1 year, with most Nigerians unable to pay out of pocket. Only 18,675,088 enrolled in a nationwide insurance scheme. Federal government accounts for over 3.5 million, private 2 million plus, vulnerable groups 2 million, states 8 million plus. Other stories there says reps upbraid WAEC for failing to account for 5 billion naira calculators. Also, Benue farmers panic over persisting drought. 16 die, 17 injured in Ibadan multiple road crash. These are some of the stories on The Guardian. We'll take quickly the Nigerian Tribune before we move over to our reviewer who is already standing by. Lead story on the Nigerian Tribune says Constitution Review, reps move to reduce cost of elections, push for conduct of all elections in 1 day. Other stories there says Nigeria large growing out of school population has huge consequences. This is according to UNICEF. And we now have joining us virtually a former director of news at the Voice of Nigeria, talking about Ben Shemang, joining us via video chats to, of course, share perspectives on the developments on the front pages of Nigerian newspapers. Welcome to the program, editor. So perhaps we should just start with the lead story on the Nigerian Tribune, which says the House of Representatives is moving to reduce the cost of elections and also calling or pushing rather for the conduct of all elections in 1 day. I mean, we've heard such clamors before. Even former President Goodluck Jonathan has mentioned this. Perhaps you could, share your opinions about how much of gains Nigeria is going to benefit from having all of its elections conducted in 1 day.
Thank you, Sergio. Thank you for having me. Honestly, it is the best thing that Nigeria will have if elections are done or conducted 1 single day. It would take care of what you call logistics in terms of bridging, in terms of how many vehicles you need to fly around this country. Because when you're talking of national elections, you're talking of state elections, by the time you look at how it's been spread, time wasting, money, security deployment here and there, 1 single stop shop will solve the problem. Now, you look at India will take close to a month to a kind of conduct elections. But if you see the element of honesty in their own case, and here we conduct ours within 2 weeks, but you could see what they call dishonesty, election rigging here, ballot papers stuffing here and there, and in that if it is done 1 single day, it will be one of the greatest blessings in Nigeria. All that it will take is Each election is now separated and kept in one single box, one single area, and thereafter you count them one after the other. And that is it. Nigeria will be better for it. It
All
is
right.
good thing if the National Assembly can do that, and that will show how nationalistic they are, and that will show how they are committed in terms of developing Nigeria, and that will also enshrine and entrench democracy around this country.
All right. The lead story on the Punch says federal government blocks 83 billion naira protest funds, arrests political collaborators. I really want your take on this, editor, because it broke yesterday that in fact these funds were in dollars and it amounts to around $38 million in 4 cryptocurrency wallets, by these said sponsors of the protest. What's your take?
Well, you see, we shouldn't just hear that they blocked. They should grab the money, show Nigerians, and say, we have seized this. And this money, therefore, whatever has been destroyed, we are going to use it to replenish. Or if there is still the leftover, we sing it into the educational sector, or we give security operatives, we give police to buy equipment to fight insecurity in this country. And we are hearing of a Sudanese that was involved, or Sudanese that were involved in the labor house. They were running a kind of a cartel there, sponsoring and sending messages here and there. We had that via the minister, I'm sorry, the Inspector General of Police. So the police should know better. And I also believe that they are just not flying a kite. So for them to have done that and for them to have told the world this is what they have discovered, good thing. Then if there are people who indeed are sponsoring abroad, Nigeria has what they call some bilateral relations. You can do some extradition. You can bring in some people for trial because there is what they call locus inco in law, place where something was committed. If it was committed in Nigeria, you legally bring them, try them legally, and if there are grounds for conviction, why not? So if government can do all of that and able to track all these people to those areas, it also follows that they can do same in terms of tracking kidnappers, in terms of tracking terrorists, in terms of even ordinary fund theft, ordinary car theft. They should be able to track them if they can do this within the shortest time. So I think that the Inspector General of Police is doing the correct thing, and I therefore commend him for that.
All right.
But for them to say they discovered the money, we want that money put to Nigeria. We want that money being used for infrastructure, and that is my take on this.
All right. We're also seeing that Nigerians may have to wait a little bit more because, commencement of operations at the Port Harcourt refinery has once again been postponed. What's your take on that? Because Nigerians were expectant that they would see this refinery come up in the next few weeks, hopefully to reduce the pressures that Nigerians spend on procuring petrol and also the cost of transportation in the country.
Yeah, you see, I hope Nigerians will not give President Tinubu a name so soon. When I say a name so soon, I mean, it's like we say all promises cancelled. And if you want to make an abbreviation, it could be like APC, all promises cancelled. So why is NNPCL, why is the Port Harcourt refinery or any other one cancelling all these promises? And I think it's not in tandem with the spirit of APC. I think that the Tinubu too should be doing some filing somewhere. You cannot be a government that will keep on promising. You keep on shifting the goalpost. Today you're going to commission. Tomorrow is a no because the vehicle didn't come. You shift it to next tomorrow. Next tomorrow comes, oh, we realize that this was not cooked. I am telling you that either that there are some people doing deliberate sabotage, or they don't know their job, or both, or indeed they are simply lying down and some people are just sabotaging. In other words, they are just collaborators. Nigerians are tired of this kind of promises here and there. And I think that Tinubu, bearing in mind that we have just recovered from end bad governance protest, and just yesterday he was given a clean bill of health, a vote of confidence by all the the former head of state, apart from Obasanjo, who didn't go. I'm surprised that Goodluck Jonathan, who got so much heat that his government was a failure, he was there to be part of those who passed a vote of confidence
Indeed. In
on
fact, I
the
was going to
government.
come
But
there
I'll
that
give a vote
while
of
all of these
confidence
are
if
happening, the vote of
Tinubu
confidence
will
has been
send his
cast on the
missiles to
president.
the management of the Nigerian uh, uh, Petroleum Company Limited, the management of petroleum company in Port Harcourt, and any other person. Look at the petrochemical too in Kaduna. None is working, and missiles are just being sent to Dangote. He wants to manipulate. He wants to be a monopolist. He wants this. He wants that. My brother, if we are going to have petrol, let Dangote be. But if there are some laws that Dangote ought to follow. He cannot be above the law. So we want to have an industry that is working. We want to have Nigeria that can export refined petrol. Now, if we want Nigeria to, you bring the crude from Niger Republic, bring from Chad, and refine them here. We make our own foreign currency. But a situation where constantly we take crude, go and sell, and import refine. Sometimes it is alleged that they do trade by barter. Just take crude and all that stuff. Then you exchange with refined. I think it's not the best for this country. Tinubu should be doing the firing at this point in time. And those in government who also feel they have conscience, once you have this kind of a failure, you should be talking of some resignations here and there. I was told of a country, where was it, where a minister promised that a certain work was going to be commissioned within so period. He missed it by 2 days, and the man resigned that his credentials were at stake.
All right. Ben Shemang, former director of news at the Voice of Nigeria. Thank you so much for your contributions and, of course, for sharing perspectives and opinion on some of the stories that made it to the front pages of national dailies. I do hope that next time we'll have you in the studio so that we have a more elaborate conversation of the different issues that, of course, made it to the front page. Thank you so much, editor.
Thank you, Sagir. Thank you for having me.
Yes, indeed. And with that, we draw the curtains on Daybreak this morning. I do hope that you've enjoyed the program, of course. And if you missed any part of the program, do well to follow us across all of our social platforms and catch our live stream on YouTube for more news programs and documentaries. My name is Sagir Ibrahim. Enjoy the rest of your day. Up next is 360 Sports. Do stick around.